I'm not a lawyer, but this is part 2 of the YNW Melly Trial, day 5 recap. The focus of the day was phones. This guy, he's a detective, and his job is to extract or download data from a phone and then analyze it for evidence in a case, which seems like it should be beneficial for the prosecution, except for the fact that
you said you did a phone dump here of a particular unit that the state referred to.
That's correct.
And you have not analyzed it?
No.
You don't know if there's any relevant evidence on it at all?
That's correct.
So this lady also testified today. She works at T-Mobile, and the biggest takeaway from her testimony was this.
The phone does not necessarily connect to the nearest tower.
Correct.
It connects to the tower with the strongest signal.
Correct.
How do you know how far the phone is from the actual tower?
I don't.
Is there no way to tell that?
Not through me.
How do you know if the tower that the phone connected to is the closest tower or the one with the stronger signal?
That would not be a question for me.
Now that alone doesn't seem helpful for the prosecution, but then this guy was the last testimony of the day. He works for the FBI, determining the location of a device when it makes a call. He uses the information provided by cell phone companies, so from this lady, to make those location determinations. So the two together would theoretically be beneficial to the prosecution's case. The prosecution had hopes of using his reports, which include maps, to show the location of the phone that they claim is Melly's, but then the defense objected a lot. They are still saying the prosecution has yet to prove that the phone they allege to be Melly's is actually Melly's. They're like, the phone is not in his name. A lot of people use that phone. After Melly was locked up, that phone was still being used. Ultimately, the judge says, since the prosecution hasn't established that the alleged Melly's phone is actually Melly's phone, the maps have to be altered to only include phone numbers versus names. A part of the prosecution's case is also that they're saying the phone they allege Melly had tracked his steps. So they're saying he took a certain number of steps at this time and then more steps at another time. Melly's defense team is saying,
for example, one of the experts we spoke to indicated that his wife plays the piano at church. And every time she goes to church and comes back, she's taken 20,000 steps because she's going like that. The fact is that whether or not this information is reliable is yet to be determined.
So we'll see how tomorrow goes. I'm going to be late with my upload tomorrow because I'm not a lawyer and I got other stuff to do.